All right, we are approaching the season of Samhain. Samhain is the midpoint in the Gaelic tradition between the fall season and the winter. We have been exploring in my group here this opportunity for us to rewrite the way that we are looking at trauma. And I want to explore how the ways that we feel traumatized, from feeling isolated, feeling like we have a threat. Trauma is an entire vast way of disconnecting from our presence, our light, ourselves. When we can find ways to reconnect, then we can start to begin to manage the traumas that are in our lives. So I encourage you, after you listen to this, see where there are specific ways in your life that you have felt isolated, you have felt depleted, you have felt a threat, you have felt an injury, and how all those things are trauma in different ways to our body, to our mind, our emotions, our soul. And so when we look at all parts of us, they can be traumatized in different ways. And there's the snowball effect that occurs. One of the best ways, though, to help you begin to process and work through this trauma, instead of being like, whoa, this is a daunting task. I don't know if I want to look into the trauma and do all the forgiveness work and then trust everything's going to be okay. It's doing it in a way where you are, as I've mentioned before, in sacred community, or what I call co-regulating. Today, we're going to look at how you can co-regulate a little more with your ancestors, with your lineage, with those that have come before you and those that will be coming after you. There's these points, and it happens to many of us when we get this knowledge. It's like, oh no, what did I do? What did I do to my child? I screwed my child up. If I would have only known. Or my family suffered, for so long with X, Y, and Z. Why can't I stop doing that? Or I feel like I'm stuck. Like that's just the way our family is. Today, my intention is, by honoring, we're going to go into a deeper ritual and a meditation for Samhain, is to help you to get unstuck, come back to presence, and then see what are the messages that your lineage has for you in the past and in the future. When we can reconnect in and regulate with our ancestors, that's where all this trauma is for nothing. Trauma then can reveal just where we need to reconnect to self again. And one of my sacred sisters wisely put it, as we're working on what I call having the knowledge, knowing what's out there, from medical things, from specific things that are going on in our culture, in our world, understanding the way the systems work physically, medically, emotionally, that's power when we know. And there's the level of trust, surrender. In many of the trainings I've gone through, it's called unattachment to the outcome. We see what we want, we know what we want, we understand it. And then it's like, okay, where can I trust? Where am I ready to trust more? And do it, as a sacred sister here mentioned, compassionately. So I encourage you, when you do this Samhain ritual, come back to compassion, come back to self, and then you're going to reflect with some journaling to what the messages your ancestors are giving you. Now, the true season of Samhain happens on the 31st of October, which I think is super cool this year. It merges with, it actually merges with All Hallows Eve. But if you're unfamiliar with what Samhain is, it was a Gaelic, like a pagan tradition. And they called it like the end of like the warmer season. And it's the end of the harvest season. And we're moving into now like a new year. Because it's the beginning of winter, and winter is actually the time to go inward, to rest. And so this mid-season time is like, what do we need to clear out to make sure we can truly rest? And it's in those traditions where they believe it's that halfway point between life and death. If we want to look at it in this way, there can be things that in this current lifetime. And I encourage you, when we do this meditation, to see what your ancestors and your lineage have for you, that you are not allowing yourself to be truly alive. We had another sacred sister mention, we don't know how long we have, and some things can happen to our loved ones or to ourselves. Like this thing called life is precious. So often we choose to not be awake to things. We choose to not be present. And when we're choosing those things, there is a part of us that actually is dying. And so I want you to look at this also as self. When we look at how can your soul start to live a little more? Your soul gets to live in this vessel right now. And how can this soul get to live a little more? And where can you honor where you have been potentially allowing yourself to choose to not fully live? See the messages in it and choose differently. It's also a time when we say this in between life and death, what is complete? Right? The leaves fall off the trees, they go into the earth. The trees now have no leaves. Those in those moments, that bud, if you want to look at it, is dead. It surrenders to earth. It surrenders to that time of nourishment. It actually co-regulates. The tree co-regulates with the earth, with nature. And then it rebirths the leaves in spring. We can look at this with our life in general as well. What are things that we can finally choose have died? This could be dynamics in our relationships. This can be some of our habits that we realize are self-harming. This can be excuses we make. This can be isolation patterns. I want you to look at your individual experiences of how you've started to practice finding your true self, doing the deeper forgiveness work, stepping more into your light. And now it's time to see where you're ready to do the surrender work, which will be coming in winter. What needs to die? What leaves need to fall off so that the tree can be barren to truly immerse with the earth? This is going to be customized and personalized for each of you that listen to this. So if you have questions or things come up, feel free to reach out. I'm here to support and guide you, and know that the exact messages that you are meant to get, you will get. So we're going to go now into a ritual. And I have here just a few items that we're going to use for this ritual. Again, you can just be present with me. You don't have to go through it. But we're going to use some sage today. We're going to use an essential oil. And then we're also going to use a crystal. I got golden healer today because I want to hold that energy of the crystal into my heart. And I'm going to pull a card today. And this is a different card deck, but it's the Power Thought cards. I've pulled these out a few different times. But I want to see what our message is for this season of Samhain. And I encourage you, whatever comes up for you in that you can allow yourself to see the message of this card deeper into this energy of Samhain. So let's see. Oh, that one like popped out very quickly. I am safe. It is only change. I cross all bridges with joy and ease. The old unfolds into wonderful new experiences. My life gets better all the time. Oh, the old unfolds into new experiences. Like, you can't make this up. So I cross all bridges with joy and ease. Possibly some of your bridges are the bridges that are making you disconnect, that are stopping you from being present, being truly alive. So this card was literally just amplifying everything that I just said. Thank you, card. You're so wise. So now to hold the space to just truly connect to our guides and our ancestors, we're just going to clear the energy, and I'll be intentionally clearing it for all of you that are here. And wherever you're at, if you have something to clear, feel free, or if not, just intentionally clear the space. Imagine a white light comes through the space that you're seated in. It comes through to allow you to just clear out. This could be attachments to others, to your day, so you can feel fully present to more of that connection to the divine energy and to spirit energy. All right. And I chose an oil today to just connect. I love aromatherapy. It can open your mind to really connect in a little bit more. But I chose the oil Forgive for specific reasons. This oil has a few different blends. It's a blend that has a few different oils in it that really help connect. And the one is spruce. Spruce is that earthy oil. We were just talking about the trees and moving deeper into connection. We have bergamot, which is our feminine oil, everyone. Bergamot is connection not only to your solar plexus chakra, but to your feminine energy. Juniper berry and lemon, those are those different specific oils that I find help connect to that uplifting energy that we want to also have. Myrrh essential oil, it is a very holy, deep oil that can help connect us into that earth energy. As well as we have thyme and citronella, and those are actually cleansing, clearing, they purify and clear stuff out. So a few different oils if you feel called to find out, or forgive if you don't have it already. All right, so we're going to take some nice deep breaths in and out. So you close your eyes, whether you have an oil or not. I want you to take a deep breath in. I want you to let it all go. Deep breath in and deep breath out. And one more deep breath in and deep breath out. And now just allow yourself to come connected to the present moment. Allow this present moment to allow you to connect also to the soul realm. And I want you to begin to breathe in and breathe out. If you're feeling like you have a hard time connecting, please feel free to place one hand on heart, one hand on belly. As well as if you feel you need to ground in more to the present moment, you can, as you inhale, lift the arms up. And as you exhale, the breath comes out and you push the energy down. You inhale, everything comes up. And then you exhale. You push it all down. You reground. Connect to this grounding energy. Connect in. And I want you now to just feel yourself in your own space. As I always mention, as you connect into your sacred space, the present moment that you are in, I want you also now to connect in, not just to your spiritual posse now, but actually to your ancestral lineage. Breathing in, breathing out. I want you to connect in. We're going to continue to breathe in and breathe out. I want you to feel as you're breathing in and out and you're closing your eyes that you are connecting in to this space. I want you to feel the past, moving in the past. I want you to feel the future, moving into the future. And I want you to feel yourself swaying into the connection of your lineage, back and forth, breathing in and breathing out. I want you to imagine now your entire lineage. You don't need to see faces. You can see faces. You can see maybe a color. You can see a fabric, a woven fabric. Maybe it's a string. It's a rope. You're all connected to this. I want you to start to notice that you are one part of this line. Feel as you breathe in all the way of your lineage, all the way to the back to the beginning of your genes, your lineage. And as you exhale out, feel yourself connecting out to the lineage you have created, the future, whether you have a child or not. the future of those that you imprint on, the future of your family lineage, that maybe you have cousins, you have siblings that have extended your line. But I want you to connect to that lineage. And I want you now to pinpoint the wise women in your lineage line. And I want you to call them to the podium, call them to the platform. Have them be the ones that are speaking. And I want you now have them ask you to be open. Be open to the messages. Be open to this experience, knowing you can come back to this experience whenever you feel called. I want you to continue to breathe in and breathe out as you connect to them. They've asked you to be open. And now it's time for you to ask them what you want to ask. It could be, wise women of my lineage, what is ready to be shed, to die? What leaves of my tree, of my family tree, are ready to be released? Allow yourself, as you continue this experience, to breathe in any message. Maybe it's a message of where these wounding patterns, this trauma is actually carving out, as we say, more space in your heart for love to exist. The wounds that you have gone through in this lifetime, your ancestral lineage might be giving you messages of how are they helping you to grow as a soul. Your future lineage could be showing you ways that your work you're doing is helping to imprint them. We're going to sit in silence for a couple moments as we breathe in and we breathe out. And I'm going to go off of camera so that I can also connect in and you can connect in. We're going to take just about 1 single minute to receive a divine download from your lineage. Beginning now to receive the last bits of messages. And asking your lineage now, in whatever it feels comfortable to you, for them to speak to you more. Maybe you want to be spoken to in your dreams and you want to keep a dream journal. Maybe you want to be spoken to with seeing something. Maybe you see 1111, you know they're sending you a message, a spirit animal. But ask them how you would like them to start to speak to you more. Maybe it's when you're just present in stillness or on your yoga mat or in nature. As you close out, first coming up with a plan of how you can communicate with the string of your lineage and landing on that communication as they bring into this experience their last few messages. And now thanking them knowing you have the way that you can connect now. I want you to deepen your breath. And I want you, as you deepen your breath, to know that you're always connected to this line, this lineage. I want you, as you deepen your breath, if you use an oil, to bring it up. Deep breath in, sigh it out. 2 more like that. Last one. And then when you're ready, taking your time, feeling yourself back in your vessel, your body, back in the present moment, you'll open your eyes.